There are some scenes with Prabhas in this movie. You're gonna shout, you're gonna clap, you're gonna say, yeah, he was really good. Disco? Yeah. Good day, guys, I'm yours truly, the original Spiky D, and welcome here to another edition of a Trini reaction to. As you know, here we feature the best in foreign language song, dancing, film out of India, southern India, 90% of the time. Now, today I'm not going to react to any material out of South India, but I am going to talk a little about the movie I just saw by the name of Adipurush. It stars the darling one, Prabhas, Kriti, Sanon, Saif, Ali Khan, and it's directed by Raut, music by Adipurush. Right now, much has been said about this movie, but I just want to give my take and how I felt about looking at the movie just a short while ago. Now, before I get into that, I just want to say that the movie did had one of the biggest, if not the biggest, opening worldwide gross of all times. It grossed 140 crores on its opening day, and it should have crossed over 200 crores at the end of day 2. Can that sustain during the rest of the week? I'm not sure. Hopefully it would. There have been a lot of negative reviews around the movie. I'm just going to give you my short take. I won't be long. Now, after I came out of the theater watching the film, I was thoroughly entertained. This movie is very, very entertaining. Now, I know many people would have had their comments in reference to what the obvious issue with the film is the CGI. Now, I saw the teaser, reacted to it, I reacted to the trailer, and I thought that the trailer was a bit of improvement over the teaser, but actually, I think the entire film, the CGI is consistently not as great. The film, in terms of its CGI, I would say is about 75% pretty alright, and there are some really bad CGI. One of the places it really stood out really bad was in the scene when there is this fight between, I think it was Vali and Sugrim, right? The two monkey kings or something like that. Now, in terms of that, as the movie went along, I realized that this probably was a style that was taken by the director Raut, in that the CGI felt more like a game, you know. That's how it felt like. But as it went along, I suddenly, you know, I realized this, and I'm going to accept that this is the CGI I'm going to get throughout the film. And you know, as I went along watching the movie, it didn't bother me as much. It did in the beginning, but by the end of the movie, it really didn't matter, because I was thoroughly engrossed in the story. And I've also read that a lot of people have an issue in terms of how the story was told, but I had no issue with it. And one of the reasons why I had no issue with it is because growing up here in Trinidad, every year there is the depiction of the Ramayana told during a festival in Trinidad called the Ramlila Festivals. And what this film did, it was basically like a highlight reel of, I guess, the timeless classic called the Ramayana. But what I saw in the film is exactly what is depicted in the Ramlila plays that we see here in Trinidad. So I was thoroughly invested and wanted to see how these scenes would have played out. And there are some awesome scenes, to be honest. One of the things I really enjoyed in the movie was the Jatayu scene where he is trying to rescue Sita from Ravana after he kidnapped her. And the kidnapping scene, oh, that was a hair-raising goosebumps sort of scene as well. I liked it. I really did. But that Jatayu scene where he's trying to save Sita, however, I should say that the characters in the film is not referred to as Ram or Sita or Lakshman or Hanuman. They have different names in the movie, and I'm somewhat unsure of why that was done. Maybe you guys, if you have watched it and you have a bit more knowledge about that, maybe you can give me an idea why it was done that way. But I had no issue with it, because we knew who they were referring to in the film. Now, as I said, there are some scenes that was really outstanding, and there are some scenes that really didn't look too great. And one of the scenes that didn't look great and all, it was when Indrajit was fighting Lakshman, but in the film he's referred to as Saif, I think. Yeah, that scene, it didn't really live up to the hype. I thought it would have been a bit better. But as overall, I really thought that the film held my interest throughout. There is some great positive in this film. One of the things that I really enjoyed in this movie and is really outstanding is the music. The background score and that theme song of Jai Shri Ram that keeps playing over and over. I tell you, it's hair raising. It gives you goosebumps. And if you are really watching the film and trying to enjoy it, I tell you, it really elevates some of the scenes. I thoroughly loved it. I even love the songs. There are some amazing songs in this movie. And the songs like we're showing Ram and Sita, as I said, they are known as Raghavan and I think it's Janaki in the film. I liked it. It really looked lovely and all that. And I thought the performances by the cast, kind of speeding up here right now, but the cast I think did pretty well in terms of Kriti Sanon playing that character of the beloved Sita. Oh my God, she was amazing. She was amazing. The scenes that she had didn't last long because she wasn't there throughout the film. However, her story and her character was entwined into the entire movie. But she was strong, she was convincing, she was captivating, she had you glued to every inch of the screen when her presence came on. She played Sita really well. I think she personified what Sita is in terms of a loving wife, but moreover, she was so strong in the face of adversary when she was facing Ravana. Those exchange with him and her was bloody fantastic. What I also enjoyed in the film was Saif Ali Khan's performance. I think he was the standout in the movie. He really did an excellent job of the villain. He's referred mostly as Lankesh, I think, but it is the Ravana character from the Ramayana, and the name is used often in the film. But also, I thought Prabhas, oh my God, there are some scenes with Prabhas in this movie. You're gonna shout, you're gonna clap, you're gonna say, yeah, he was really good. As Ram, I really loved his performance. There is one scene in the movie where he's giving this speech. I heard people talking about the dialogue in the movie. I'm not sure what it is about the dialogue that you guys didn't enjoy. I'm reading subtitles, so I don't know in terms of the Hindi or the Telugu when you're watching it in the original languages, what that may transfer to you guys in terms of interpretation. But I thought the English subtitles was fine. I had no issue with the writing. There was this speech, as I was saying, that Ram gives just as they're about to go into battle. And it's a hair-raising speech, man. It was moving. Yeah, something like Gladiator, something like a bit of Lord of the Rings sort of vibration you got in that scene. But oh my God, there's some scenes in it where Prabhas just was outstanding. I really loved him in the film. I thought that he personified the more warrior part of that character, Ram. He was really fantastic as the warrior, strong. He didn't budge, At times he was caring and loving and very understanding. That didn't show up much throughout the film, but what did show throughout the movie is his strength and his understanding, and this action, Lord, who can just destroy and kick ass. He was really great. I liked his performance. I was really satisfied with Prabhas in this movie because after I saw him in Radisham, I didn't like it that much. And in Saho, he was okay in Saho, but there were some aspects in it I didn't enjoy in terms of the acting. But here, he was solid. It felt like a bit of Bahubali vibration you got in that. So I really enjoyed all that. And then there's this gentleman who plays Hanuman, but he's not referred to as Hanuman in the film. I think if you watch this movie, I think he's the character you're going to love most. I really enjoyed his character the most in terms of enjoyment, because at times he was somewhat funny, but he really kicked ass. I tell you, this character really delivers on screen. You're going to love him. The way I think he's portrayed, the way how he spoke, everything. I enjoyed it. And as I said, there are some people on Twitter that are saying, certain things about the dialogue. But again, I don't understand why it is so. Maybe it's a more religious sort of view probably they're having on it. But if you're going there to watch the movie and to see a film that depicts this timeless classic and you just want to experience what it is if you don't know much about it. You're gonna thoroughly enjoy the movie. I think it delivers in terms of the action. I mean, the action is not, there's not a lot of action, to be honest. The action in the climax scene, it looked really cool. I think if you could get past the opening scene where we are introduced to the Prabhas character, which is Raghav and or Ram, the sequence, I understand what they were trying to do with the sequence, but it just didn't look good. It was probably the worst scene in the entire film. That and the part with Vali and Sugrim, two fights. But as I said, after it went along, because of I just accepted it as a certain style they were going for, and of course they don't have the budget as of an American film. I somewhat sort of like just, it didn't bother me. I just didn't worried about it, because I think if I had worried about it, it would have taken away from my enjoyment of the film, and I wanted to enjoy the movie. And at the end of it, I was thoroughly entertained. It was very entertaining. So I think if you're going to watch this film, go with a blind slate. Expect bad CGI. Accept that, and maybe if you can accept that is what the director was going for, because he's the same director that did Tananji. Right? And that had a certain style with it, in terms of the CGI in it, and a certain sort of stylization of where he was going for in terms of the action, in terms of the world that he was set in. Yeah. Now, what is that downside in the film? If you're thinking you're going to get a real background of who Lord Rama is and Sita and all that, you're not going to get that, because the film starts off with a sort of song that gives an exposition. It gives the exposition of how Ram went into exile, how he left the bow or broke the bow, and how he got married to Sita, and what was done in order for him when the request was made that he should go in exile. And that's where the film picks up after the song. So, as I said, the story felt like a highlight reel, and there's not much character development. Maybe the Rawan character, they spent a little more time on him, because he was like great devotee of one of the gods, I think it's Shiva. And yeah, so you do get a bit of time with him. But in terms of the other characters, because the film is also so loved and well known, I guess there's no need to really get into the characters, because it's just about 3 hours the movie is, but I didn't felt like it was 3 hours. The first half felt a bit long, but the second half just went by. It went by so fast. Yeah. So honestly, I think if you're going to watch the movie, don't go in there with what people are saying. Go in and watch the film with a blind slate. Expect, as I said, bad CGI, but expect to be entertained. Expect to have some great songs in the movie that will move you. Expect an engaging background score, a BGM that is going to get you hype and just set the mood for the scenes that you will be seeing displayed on this big screen. I don't know if watching it in 3D will make a difference. I think maybe it would, because it was so much green screen that they were using in the film that the background oftentimes didn't look too great. But I don't know if there might be a difference if you do watch it on 3D. I obviously saw the 2D version. They didn't have no 3D version where I went to see the film. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that is just my short take on the movie. If I was to give the movie a rating, I'm rating it not with CGI and all that, because if I go to put all that into it, it will really downgrade the film for me. But I would give the film, I think I would give it about a 7. In terms of a 7, because as I said, but it does have the elements that makes me somewhat not love the film, but like it enough to enjoy it. Yeah. All right, so I give it a 7 out of 10. That's just I think that's a fair score. And if you're going with a blank slate, you might even give it a bit higher. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by today. Checking out this short reaction to the film Adipurush, starring the darling one, Prabhas. Alright, so if you do like it, you can like it, you can share, you can subscribe, you can come back for more. I'm yours truly, Spiky D, wherever you guys are in the world. Do stay safe, remain in good health, and I'll see you all soon with another reaction. Do take care and have a great day. Peace out.